The Young and the Restless spoilers Thurdays full episodes January 2nd, 2025 A web of secrets and confrontations in the world of Genoa City. Trust was a fragile thread, and secrets lurked behind every warm smile. For Billy Abbott, the sense of unease he felt with Sally Spectra had become too heavy to ignore. Her coldness was not just a passing mood, it was a shield. Billy knew something was amiss, and he wasn't one to let matters fester. He needed answers, and he needed them now. Billy and Sally, a crossroads. Billy decided to confront Sally directly. He arranged to meet her at a quiet cafe, away from prying eyes and distractions. His demeanor was calm but resolute, his piercing gaze searching for the truth behind Sally's distant behavior. "Sally," he began, his voice steady but firm, "I can't keep pretending everything's fine. I've felt you pulling away, and I need to know what's really going on. If there's still love here, let's fight for it. But if you're done, if this is just a game to you, let's end it now. I won't be lied to." Sally hesitated, her fingers nervously playing with the edge of her coffee cup. She didn't know how to respond. The weight of her own guilt and unresolved feelings for Adam Newman lingered in the air. Her silence spoke volumes, and Billy's heart sank. "Billy," she finally said, her voice trembling, "I don't want to hurt you. But I don't know what I feel anymore." Her admission stung, but Billy respected her honesty. He nodded, his expression a mix of sadness and acceptance. "Then figure it out, Sally. But until you do, I can't keep pretending we're okay." Chelsea's warning. Meanwhile, Chelsea Lawson, ever the schemer and deeply entwined in her own complicated history with Adam, decided to intervene. She sought out Billy, catching him as he left the cafe. "Billy," she called out, her voice tinged with urgency. "I need to talk to you about Sally and Adam." Billy's eyes narrowed. "Chelsea, what is this about?" Chelsea glanced around, ensuring they were alone. "Look, I know you care about Sally, but you need to know the truth. She's playing games, Billy. She's done it before. Adam and I, we were both her pawns at one point. She'll use you, just like she used us." Billy frowned, the weight of Chelsea's words settling in his chest. "Why tell me this? What do you get out of it?" Chelsea's expression softened. "Because I don't want you to go through what I did. Consider this a warning, don't trust her too much. Treat it as a fling, nothing more." Phyllis's revelation, an unseen enemy elsewhere, Phyllis Summers had her own demons to confront. She had long been at odds with Sharon Newman, their mutual disdain fueled by years of misunderstandings and rivalries. But now, Phyllis began to sense that their animosity wasn't entirely natural. There was a pattern, a hidden hand pulling the strings, turning them against each other for reasons yet unknown. Phyllis's suspicions grew stronger when she discovered unsettling coincidences. Anonymous tips, strange coincidences, and incriminating evidence seemed to appear at the worst possible moments for both her and Sharon. Phyllis couldn't shake the feeling that someone was deliberately orchestrating their downfall. Determined to uncover the truth, Phyllis approached Sharon with an uneasy truce. "Sharon," she began, her tone uncharacteristically cooperative, "we've been at each other's throats for years. But I think someone's been manipulating us. I don't know who or why, but I'm going to find out." Sharon, initially skeptical, saw the earnestness in Phyllis's eyes. "If you're right," she replied cautiously, "then we're both victims. But how do we figure out who's behind this?" The shadow of Jordana. As Phyllis delved deeper, her investigation led her to an enigmatic figure, Jordana. Though little was known about him, whispers of his involvement in Genoa City's chaos began to surface. He was a master manipulator, skilled at exploiting weaknesses and sowing discord among his enemies. Phyllis's probing didn't go unnoticed. Jordana, aware of her efforts, decided to confront her directly. Their meeting was inevitable, a collision of sharp minds and fierce determination. The confrontation happened late one evening in a dimly lit bar. Jordana sat calmly at a corner table, waiting for Phyllis with an air of quiet confidence. Phyllis, never one to back down, approached him with steely resolve. So, you're the one pulling the strings, she said, her voice laced with defiance. Jordan smirked, leaning back in his chair. I prefer to think of it as guiding the narrative. You and Sharon make such compelling protagonists, after all. Phyllis's eyes narrowed. Whatever game you're playing, it ends now. I won't let you ruin any more lives. Jordan leaned forward, his smile fading. You underestimate me, Phyllis. This isn't a game, it's a masterpiece. And you're just one piece on the board. The battle ahead, the clash between Phyllis and Jordan, set the stage for a high-stakes battle. As Phyllis unraveled more of Jordan's schemes, she found herself drawn into a web of intrigue that threatened not only her but everyone she cared about. Meanwhile, her uneasy alliance with Sharon grew stronger, their shared mission forcing them to set aside old grudges. Billy, grappling with his own challenges, found himself increasingly wary of Sally and the shadow of Adam Newman looming over their relationship. Chelsea's warning echoed in his mind, leaving him to question whether his feelings for Sally were worth the inevitable heartbreak. The threads of deception, manipulation, and long-buried truths wove together, setting the stage for dramatic confrontations, unexpected alliances, and revelations that would shake Genoa City to its core. A storm brewing in Genoa City. Ian Ward's sinister plan. Ian Ward had always been a master manipulator, weaving chaos with precision and purpose. Teaming up with Jordan, an equally ruthless figure, their sinister plan to abduct Victor Newman was now in motion. For Ian, this was more than revenge, it was a statement, a way to finally dismantle the Newman dynasty. Jordan, though initially hesitant, found himself drawn to Ian's vision of destruction and control. Despite their calculated approach, Ian knew Victor was no ordinary target. The man's instincts were razor-sharp, and his influence stretched across Genoa City like an impenetrable web. But even the sharpest eyes could be blinded by trust, and Ian's greatest weapon wasn't force, it was deception. Victor remained unaware that his deadliest enemies weren't lurking in the shadows but operating right under his nose. Mariah's devotion, a daughter's fierce love. Meanwhile, Mariah Copeland found herself thrust into the heart of the storm. She had uncovered enough of Ian and Jordan's plans to realize the danger looming over her loved ones. For Mariah, this wasn't just a battle against evil, it was personal. Sharon, her mother, and Tessa, her soulmate, were both potential casualties in Ian's twisted game. Mariah's resolve was unshakable. If I have to die to protect them, she told herself, then so be it. Their lives are worth more than mine. Her fierce loyalty burned brighter than her fear, propelling her into action even as the risks multiplied. The trap is set. Ian and Jordan worked tirelessly to finalize their plan. They carefully orchestrated Victor's movements, exploiting vulnerabilities and luring him into a false sense of security. A charity gala, attended by Genoa City's elite, became their chosen stage. With the right distractions and an impeccable facade, they aimed to strike under the guise of sophistication. Victor, ever the strategist, remained vigilant. He had felt the currents shifting, the sense that unseen forces were working against him. But even he couldn't predict the level of cunning Ian had brought to the table. Ian had recruited allies within Victor's own circle, individuals whose loyalty could be swayed by money, power, or revenge. Mariah's risky gamble. Mariah, desperate to protect Sharon and Tessa, delved deeper into Ian and Jordan's operations. Her investigation led her to a dilapidated warehouse on the outskirts of Genoa City, a suspected staging ground for their plan. Armed with little more than her determination and a sense of purpose, Mariah decided to infiltrate the location. Tessa, sensing Mariah's distress, confronted her. "You're not doing this alone," Tessa insisted, her voice firm. "We're in this together." Mariah shook her head, tears brimming in her eyes. "I can't let you get hurt, Tess. I love you too much. If anything happens to you or Sharon, I wouldn't survive it." Tessa held Mariah's face in her hands. "You don't have to be a hero alone. We fight this together, or not at all." Reluctantly, Mariah agreed. The two women devised a plan to gather evidence and alert the authorities while keeping themselves out of harm's way, or so they hoped. Ian's ruthless intent. Ian grew impatient as the night of the gala approached. Jordan, sensing Ian's restlessness, voiced his concerns. Maybe we should back off. Victor's too prepared, and if we make one wrong move, everything falls apart. Ian shot him a cold glare. We've come too far to back down now. Newman needs to pay, and I won't let a moment of doubt ruin that. But Ian wasn't completely blind to the risks. He tightened security around their plan, ensuring that no loose ends could unravel their scheme. He also instructed his associates to keep an eye on Mariah. Her recent activity had not gone unnoticed. A night of reckoning. The night of the gala arrived, glittering with luxury and opulence. Victor stood at the center of the event, surrounded by family and allies. He exuded confidence, but beneath his polished exterior, he remained on edge. Ian and Jordan's plan unfolded with mechanical precision. Disguises, false identities, and carefully placed distractions allowed them to maneuver closer to Victor. But as they prepared to make their move, Mariah and Tessa arrived at the scene, their presence unnoticed amid the chaos. Mariah spotted Ian in the crowd, his calculating eyes locked on Victor. Her heart raced as she realized the magnitude of what was about to happen. We have to stop this, she whispered to Tessa. The two women split up, each determined to thwart Ian's plan. Mariah confronted Ian directly, her voice trembling with anger. You're not getting away with this, she declared, standing between him and Victor. Ian smirked, unimpressed. Brave, but foolish. You have no idea who you're dealing with. At the same moment, Tessa alerted security, exposing the infiltrators. The room erupted in chaos as Victor's guards closed in. Ian, realizing his plan had failed, attempted to escape but was intercepted by Mariah. Despite her fear, she stood her ground, her defiance a testament to her love for Sharon and Tessa. Aftermath, a new resolve. Ian and Jordan's plot was foiled, but the night left scars on everyone involved. Victor, though grateful for Mariah's bravery, was shaken by the realization of how close his enemies had come. Mariah emerged as a hero in the eyes of those she loved, but the experience left her haunted by the dangers she had faced. For Ian, the failure was a bitter pill to swallow. But as he was led away in handcuffs, he whispered to Mariah, "This isn't over. You may have one tonight, but I'll be back." Mariah's resolve only strengthened. "Do your worst," she shot back. "You'll never break us."